West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I'm one half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, Machel St. Patrick Hewitt, and we are back for another show. This is actually the second show today, depending on when you're watching this, but this actually is the second show that I've dropped on the YouTube channel today. And let's get some admin out of the way first things first, because based on the fact that it's the second show of the day, let me talk about the first one. So earlier today, on the 28th of April, I dropped a interview that I recorded with Roland Butcher about a week ago. We embargoed that particular interview until today for different reasons, which may become apparent when you watch the particular episode. But Roland Butcher has a book out called Breaking Barriers from Barbados to England and Back. And Roland and I have had a really good conversation. The episode goes for about an hour and 15 minutes. So it's one of those ones that you want to pause and come back to and chop it up and rewind and so on and so forth. And the thing is, Roland Butcher means a lot of things to different people. To some people, he's a former West Indies selector. To others, he's a Middlesex county cricket legend. To others, he's the first black man to play cricket for England. To some, he's a former football coach at Reading who worked alongside Brendan Rodgers. To others, he's the director of cricket who helped establish UWE Cavehill to be a centre of sporting excellence, not just with cricket, but other sports. And to some, he's the guy who's currently in Barbados right now, working on developmental pathways and grassroots girls cricket. Roland Butcher is lots of things to different people. And like I say, he's got a book documenting his career and his journey. It's out already in the Caribbean. He did a book launch at Kensington Oval last week. He's in Trinidad tomorrow. He's at Queen's Park Oval tomorrow on the 29th of April doing a book launch there. And there's a book launch in the UK on May the 14th, and the book officially comes out on May the 14th in the UK. So go and watch that episode, people. Go support Roland's movement and buy the book if you can, pre-order the book if you can, and go watch that episode as well. The second piece of admin relates to the logo that you can see in the top corner. I don't know if it's your left or my left or my right, your right, etc. And you'll see a logo which says Parlay Pros. And for those of you who've been long enough supporters, fans, followers of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, you'll know that we've rarely, if ever, had a sponsor or partner on the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. We had a brief one with CPL way back in the day, about 4 years ago. Anyone remember Dark Side Rum Punch? We had something with them a while back, but this is the first kind of major partnership we've entered into in a long time. Big up the guys at Parlay Pros. This conversation's been going back and forth for the best part of the last 2 to 3 months or so, and we finally decided to take this the next step further. Parlay Pros are a company organization based out in Trinidad, and without any further ado, I'm going to just play a little video to help you understand what it is that they do and what it is that they offer. Let me see now. Here's the thing, though. Here's a catch. Can this technological phobe uncle, get this to work? We shall now see, people. Let me play this little video from our sponsors. Ever wanted access to a sophisticated sports book that allows you to study trends, patterns, lines on all of your favorite teams and players in your particular chosen sport? Whether that be the NBA, the NFL, the NBL, the NWBA, and any other sport, Parlay Pros are the right bet for you. Data-driven insights that allow you to flutter on sports without simple guesswork. Should you want to know more, go into our descriptor below. In the descriptor below, you'll see a link to a Parlay Pros CCP group chat. And there you can find out more about what the company offers with no obligation whatsoever to sign up to what they offer or what they do. But should you want to find out more, just click the link in the descriptor. For those of you who want to elevate your sports betting, your sports fluttering, call it what you want, to a whole new level. For those of you who love the data, the analysis behind sports, those who love to track the trends for the last 15, 20 games and use that to do whatever you want to do, Parlay Pros is where you need to head to and where you need to be. But check this out, people. Here at CCP, we don't force you to do anything. But if you should do, and if you do want to get involved and you want to have a flutter and you want to have a little cheeky bet here or there, Caribbean Cricket Podcasts will always say the same thing. Do everything responsibly. Parlay Pros, people, and the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. You done know the done know. We're out here. Okay. Did Uncle get that to work? Did Uncle really get that one to work? We'll soon see. Because when I press this to finish the recording, and if I press the recording and there's no audio on that, and there's no audio on the Parlay Pros advert, I'm a real uncle out here. Anyways, I'm expecting some of you to get in the comments below and say, Mash, what's this? You've entered into a partnership. I'm expecting some of you to comment. But, you can comment. You can say what you want to do. But you know what? So we're outside. We're outside, and the game is the game. The game is the game. The game is the game. If you're interested, people, descriptor. I put the link in the descriptor below. Read it, and if you're interested, click it and go from there. Do everything responsibly. Now, listen, people, let's move on though to the point of this show, which is the Breakout League. So I've called this one week one review of the Breakout League. And it's weird because week one was only 4 games, because obviously the Breakout League started on Friday, the 25th of April. I'm not even going to edit that out. I'm not even going to edit. The internet's been playing stupid nonsense. The internet's been doing dumb nonsense. This is actually the 4th time I've recorded this episode, and on this particular occasion, I'm just going to let the internet do its madness, and I'm just going to have to continue. So, apologies, people. This one's going up as it is. I'm not even going to edit it. If the internet decides to do nonsense on me, we just have to work with it. So anyways, as I was saying, on Friday we had 2 games, Guyana versus the Windwards, Trinidad versus Barbados as the evening game, and then on Saturday, the 26th of April, we had 2 more, Jamaica versus the Leewards, and then Trinidad versus Guyana in the evening game. Now, as things currently stand, Trinidad have played 2 games. They are way out in front. They've got 17 points. Leeward Islands are second, having only played once, with 6 points, etc. And Jamaica are last with 0. I think Barbados are 5th with 1. I think Guyana have 4 or something like that, right? And one of the reasons why people are a bit perplexed about the points is because they probably don't know the following. So I'm going to read it out to you. There are bonus points in this Breakout League, so I'll just quickly read them to you. So for the if you're the batting team, the bonus points go as follows. If you got a run rate of 8 or more and lose less than 2 wickets, you get a bonus point. In the power play, you get a bonus point. In the middle overs, between overs 7 to 15, if you got a run rate of 7 or more and lose fewer than 4 wickets, you get a bonus point. In the death overs, if you got a run rate of 10 or more, you get a bonus point. And in the entire innings with the bat, if your dot ball percentage is less than 25%, you get a bonus point. With the ball, in the power play, if you take 3 wickets or more, bonus point. In the middle overs, over 7 to 15, if you take 4 wickets or more, bonus point. In the death overs, if you restrict the opposition to fewer than 7 runs per over, bonus point. And then if you bowl out a side, bonus point. And if in the entire innings, in your bowling, the dot ball percentage is 50% or more, bonus point. So that will explain to you, some of you, when you heard Trinidad have 17 points, you might understand why now. Because yes, they've picked up 2 wins, but they've also picked up a whole myriad of bonus points in their dismantling of Barbados. Because remember, they bowled out Barbados for 101, for example. They bowled out, in fact, I don't know if they bowled out Guyana, but I swear it was like 150 something for 9, or maybe they bowled them down all out. I don't know. But Trinidad have picked up a lot of bonus points in their 2 wins, and that's why they're currently 11 points clear of second place Leewards. But remember, Leewards have only played once, Windwards have only played once, Jamaica have played once, Barbados have played once. So, like I said, I've called this week 1 of the Breakout League, but I do want everyone to remember that essentially this week coming is the big week of the tournament. On Tuesday, Jamaica play Guyana, Barbados play Windward Islands. On Wednesday, Trinidad play Jamaica, Barbados play the Leewards. On Friday, Leewards play Trinidad, Jamaica play Barbados. And then on Sunday, Windwards play Guyana, and Guyana, it's a double header for Guyana, and then Guyana play the Leewards. So this week is really like the kind of chocker heavy week of games. But what have we learned from the 4 that we've seen so far? These are just some of my quick reflections, and by all means, you don't have to agree. Of course, get in the comments below and let me know what you think. So first things first, I think we've seen some of the more established players, not a lot of them, but some of the more established players have shown up. Obviously, Ali Catanese has had the standout inning so far with the 91 not out in that first game against Guyana. Josh Da Silva hit 68 off 30-something balls against Guyana in Saturday's game. And it's quite interesting because Joel Bailey, who's our CCP correspondent in Trinidad, he did a really good interview with Josh after that game, and Josh spoke about the fact how in limited overs cricket, he feels comfortable opening. So that was quite interesting. Jid Ghoulie's been really good at 5-6 in the Trinidad order, gluing it together and then exploding at the back end. So I've been impressed with some of the innings from Jid Ghoulie. Josh, also in that Trinidad team, Josh James. And this has been one of the big benefits of the Breakout League. Whilst we can have lots of reservations about the overall quality of the performances so far, what the Breakout League was set up to do has been epitomized by Josh James's performances. Joshua James has been picked up in like the 60 before. I think he's got CPL deals before, but he's never established himself at CPL level. Because what happens to a lot of these young players, if they're not in that LASCO emerging players list in CPL, is a lot of these young players just carry water for the duration of CPL. And even when they get a game, they play the whole game as like a specialist fielder. They're put into batter number 8 or 9, and if they're lucky, they get 1 over, right? In this tournament, Joshua James, every game, gets to bowl his full allocation for Trinidad. He has been put at number 7 with the specific remit of being a Romario Shepherd-esque lower order slogger, bowling all-rounder, lower order 6-hitter. There is no way that Josh James would get that. See what I mean? Internet's doing nonsense on me. Someone's trying to sabotage, but we have to continue. I'm so sorry, people, for the I think internet's been sketchy in my area today, but we have to keep moving. So as I was saying, there's no way that Josh James would have had that role elsewhere in CPL, probably even any other kind of major league, if it wasn't for the Breakout League. With the ball, I've been impressed with Jadea Blades. He's playing for Guyana. I think he's moved the ball really well off the seam. Got lots of swing, not lots, but good swing up top with the new ball. Johan Lane's been very good, economical, coming off the back of a very good first-class season as well. I've been impressed with that youngster as well. In that first game that Guyana played against Windward, Kevlin Anderson played a good hand. Adrian Sukwa played a good hand as well. We'll wait to see if there's more from them to come. Mahasi, who I think plays for the Leewards, I think he's a Trini spinner. He showed really good control in their game against Jamaica. Kofi James is very good in that game against Jamaica. I think he hit like a quick fire 39 off 17 balls or something at the top. And again, and I think I tweeted about it at the time, but that's what Kofi's supposed to be doing. Again, if you're somebody who's played any number of significant CPL games, you're supposed to be dominating this lower level of cricket. So it was good to see Kofi kind of slap people all over the place. Although, disclaimer, the Jamaica side is so inexperienced. I want some answers as to what the rationale was for the Jamaica picks. Some of that bowling that they put up against Leewards felt like high school bowling, or certainly felt like club cricket bowling. And let's talk about that club cricket. Like I say, overall, I think the standard in the first 4 games has been poor. And I want people to understand that that's not me trying to be overly critical of the Breakout League. To me, it's just facts. Like, I'm not paid by the people at CPL or Cricket West Indies, Breakout League, whatever, to cheerlead and try and make you lot think the league is better than it is. I'm independent. I'm looking with my own eyes, and my own eyes are telling me that what I'm seeing isn't a good product. But 2 things can be right at the same time. The product can be poor and the quality can be low, but the league can be serving a very useful developmental structure for our inexperienced players at this level of cricket. It's obvious. Like, look at someone like Teddy Bishop, right? I think he's only played one game so far, but Teddy Bishop for the Windwards would never be put in this role that he's in for the Windwards. I think he's batting 3 or 4. He would never get that role in CPL on any kind of regular basis, not yet anyways. So it's in the league is playing a critical developmental process in terms of giving these young, and young means anything from 21 up to 28 in our cricket, giving these young cricketers responsibility, saying this is your role. Look at Amir Jangu. He was opening for Trinidad, right? Amir Jangu's not going to open in CPL. So we call Amir Jangu a young talent at 27, 28 because this is West Indies cricket. But he's been given that responsibility to go out and play hard cricket at the top of the innings. And so we can critique rightly the quality of the tournament, but we can praise what the tournament is set up to do for the cricketers at the same time. Something that I've been disappointed about is the crowds. I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed. Even for the Trinidad games, so Trinidad's first 2 games, on the 25th, they had an evening game against Barbados. On the 26th, they had an evening game against Guyana. I can only go off what the cameras showed me, so this is not based on hard facts, right? But based on what the cameras showed me, I reckon there was no more than 300 people in the ground across both nights for those 2 games. Now, bear in mind, this is the home side. And I think CPL have made a mistake. I think Cricket West Indies have made a mistake. There is no way this tournament should ever have been charging people 60 TT dollars to go and watch a breakout league when everybody knows that it's a level below CPL. Why would people pay the 60 TT? I'm not saying it should have been free, but it should have been cheaper, significantly cheaper at that. And this is before we even mention the election season. And I just look at the crowds and I'm like, am I thinking the quality is bad because the quality is bad? Or am I thinking the quality is bad because the atmosphere is also non-existent outside of the Trinidad games? I don't know. Get at me in the comments below, people. What do you think about that? And furthermore, get at me in the comments below, people, if you just disagree with anything that I'm saying. And then on top of that, get at me in the comments below if you think there's some players that I've missed out who I should have been mentioning. Say, actually, no, Mash, I've liked the look of this person and here's why. But like I say, it's early doors. It's early doors in this tournament. We can't make big pronouncements off the back of 4 games. But it's still, for me, because it was like that's the end of the first week and the tournament started in that week, I still kind of wanted to do like a week's reflection on what we've seen so far after 4 games. But bear in mind that only Trinidad have played twice. Only Trinidad and Guyana have played twice. Everybody else has only played once. So we can't be making too much assumptions going forward. For all we know, and I think there's a lot of truth in what I'm about to say, the players themselves, because they're so inexperienced, are having to acclimatize to expectations. So look at someone like Jordan Johnson. So Jordan Johnson in the Jamaica versus Leeward game, Jamaica crawled to 127 or 123 by the end of their innings. Jordan Johnson scored 40 odd, right? But he scored like 40 off 45 balls. At no point was he fluent. He scrapped and he nudged and he nurdled and hit the occasional 4, but at no time was he timing the ball sweetly. But I'm not critiquing. Remember, Jordan's only 19. I'm not critiquing Jordan for that. My point more so is that you can tell in the cricket that we're watching that a lot of these players aren't used to, particularly in the middle overs. I've noticed it. Like, it's almost like the power play. They know what they have to do. You have to beat ball and try and make as much runs as possible. They know that at the death, they need to beat ball and make as much runs as possible, right? But in those middle overs, I've noticed that a lot of the teams are getting bogged down. And only if you've got a quality player at the crease who may have played at the level above this, are they able to manipulate or maneuver their way rather out of the situation that they've found themselves in. Jordan Johnson has rarely been in any T20 position at this level of cricket where he knows how to get himself out of the nudging and nurdling to then fire at the back end. And I've seen that with quite a few teams where you can tell that a player is inexperienced because they don't know how to play the situation. That's not a criticism, it's an observation. And it's those things that these players are going to learn as they go through the tournament. So we can't be too harsh, we can't be too critical, because for some of them, this is probably the first time at this level of cricket that they're being faced with the scenarios that they're in. But listen, people, I didn't want to go on too tough because, like I say, this is the 4th time I've recorded this video, because the first one, I didn't even tell you, the first video I recorded when I played the Parlay Pros promo vid, when I went to watch it back afterwards, I'd clicked the wrong thing. So it never even, I was talking, but it was never recorded. So it just played. So I did the whole episode. There was no glitching until it got to the promo video for Parlay Pros, and my voice wasn't even there. And I was like, now I'm going to have to start all over again. The second time, the internet chipped out. The third time, the internet chipped out. And then this time I was like, I don't care what happens. I must record this and I must post it within the next 25 minutes. Listen, people, get me in the comments below. What have you thought of the first week of the Breakout League? Have I missed any points out here? Is there something that you feel I should have said? And yeah, let me know, people. Let me know what you think. You don't know with the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. And sorry, last thing. Big up everybody who's helped us get to 12K. On the weekend, we got to 12K, people, which is why you can see on the ticker tape below, we're now on the road to 13K. Big up all the YouTube subscribers. Even now, actually, we got to 12K on Saturday or Sunday, I think it was. And even now, if I go into my app, it tells me that we're now on 12,022 followers. So already an extra 22 have come on since we got to 12K. So keep running up the subscriptions, people. Run up the likes, run up the shares, run up the subscriptions, hit the bell notification. And if you can, because I always forget to say this part, if you'd like to support the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, you can, of course, go to www.patreon.com/Carib Cricket. Every little bit helps and counts. I'll be Machel St. Patrick Hewitt. My voice is tired, and I'll see you very, very soon.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.